because their God makes them wise. Have you ever had it where your friend had this idea that they wanted to share with you? They had this plan, this project, they were really excited about it, and they were so excited to share it with you. They wanted you to be excited for them. And as they eagerly share with you this plan that they have, you start getting this sinking feeling in your stomach. Because as excited as they are to share this plan, as they go over the details, hoping that you're going to be on board, becomes clear. You come to the realization, you get uneasy, because just as you're listening to it, you're feeling inconsistencies and troubles and problems, potential disaster if they follow through with this plan. It doesn't seem like they have everything figured out as much as they seem excited about it. I want you to be excited. They want to hear you support their plan. They want to hear you say that their plan is a good one and that you're excited too and this is going to be a success, and you're so excited for them to share their happiness. But if you could notice all the problems and issues and challenges just in your quick reaction to hearing it for the first time, you don't feel like you can give them the answer, the response that they're looking for. As much as you want to share in their happiness, you feel like you more have to share the feedback of how maybe you don't think the plan is quite as well thought through. It's not easy. You don't want to tell them bad news, because you're worried that if you tell them that you think that their plan is foolish, that there are problems with it that are preventing you from being excited, that then they're going to be upset with you and think that instead of you calling their plan foolish, you're calling them foolish. No one wants to be called foolish. Brothers and sisters, in our lesson from God's Word today, Paul is calling us foolish. He's calling the Corinthians foolish. He's calling us foolish. He's calling believers in God foolish. Now, the Corinthians were pretty foolish, weren't they? And if you look at Paul's letter, he's got a lot of things that he needs to say to them about things to correct what they've been doing, the mistakes that they're making. They really were foolish. Paul tries to remind them about what's really important. He says, brothers, think about what you were when you were called. Not many were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. You see, according to the standards of this world, it wasn't really anything all that impressive what the Corinthians were. You see, they actually were the sort of people that were just normal people. Nothing special about them. Nothing that this world would say, wow, they really stick out. Or if you think about it this way. Imagine that God gave you the job of starting His church, of continuing to share that message. How would you go about it? You would probably try to pick the smartest, the wisest, the most influential, the people that you think would be most suited, according to human standards, to share the message, to build your church, to accomplish your mission. You'd want to get some sort of dream team together. And is that really what we are? Is that what the Corinthians were? No, Paul calls them foolish and weak and lowly and despised. They're really the opposite of the sort of people that you want on your team for sharing this important mission if you want it to be a success. You see, the trouble is, the temptation is, just like with the Corinthians, just like with us, the temptation is to sort of view everything from this worldly point of view. To look at things and to value them in the same way that this world values things. But this world has a very different valuation system than our Bible evaluation system. Than our evaluation system as children of God. You see, this world, it wants to value the wise and the influential, those of noble birth, the important people. It wants to value wealth, and it wants to value the respect that you have within your culture, within your society. It wants to value a whole bunch of things that, if we look at it from a Christ perspective, really aren't that important. That's why Paul says, he chose the things that are not to nullify the things that are. You see, our culture looks at us and says that we're weak, that we're foolish, that we're lowly, that we're nothing. But he's still following that Jesus character. Haven't we moved past that as a society? We're so much more evolved and civilized now. We don't need those foolish superstitions of 2,000 years ago. This world takes a look at who you are, at what you value, and says that it's not valuable at all. So what does God say? He says that he takes the things that are not, the things that this world says aren't valuable, and uses it to nullify the things that are. So all of those things that this world values, God takes them and says, if put in the proper perspective, if put in the child of God perspective, the perspective of Jesus and what he needs for us, the message that he has for us, and says that they don't really matter at all. And the lowly, the weak, those that this world calls foolish, are actually the wise ones because they know Jesus. They're strong because they have Jesus' strength. And they have life, eternal life, because of what Jesus has done. It is because of him that you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us the wisdom from God. That is our righteousness, holiness, and redemption. See, this world wants to call the message that we have in Christ foolishness. And think about it. So the all-powerful God would send his Son to suffer and to die and to redeem people like you and me. People that constantly prioritize ourselves over him. People that constantly value the things of this world over him. People that consistently choose the things of this world. The things that really don't matter over the things that do. That God would send his Son to die for people like us. This world calls it foolishness. Doesn't make sense. But for us, it's the wisdom of God. It's the power of God. It is our very ticket into heaven. It's the fact that our God, knowing all of that, still going to that cross, showing mercy to us, even though we don't deserve it. Let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. We don't have to boast about how great of people we are, how we've earned God's salvation, how somehow we're a pretty good person and God should let us into heaven. We don't have to rely on something as flimsy as that, because we have something better. We have a mercy that defies our understanding. And yet it's true. We have a mercy that we will never fully be able to sound its depths. And yet that's the reality of our identity as children of God. Let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. He is our strength. He is our salvation. He's the one who enables us to have the things that really matter. And he's the one who enables us to carry out our mission the way that he wants us to. You see, if we were to try to rely on our own strength, on our own ability to share this message with others, it's really easy to get intimidated. And yet we know that we have a God who, despite our weaknesses, our shortcomings, our foolishness, our lowliness, the fact that this world values us so little, and he's able to work his wonders through us. You see, the interesting thing about an all-powerful, all-wise God is there's really no concept of more or less difficult in order for him to carry out his will. For an all-knowing, all-powerful God, if he sets his mind to do something, it doesn't matter whether he uses the dream team and the people that this world considers to be the wisest and the most influential, the most powerful, the best speaker, the best at bringing people together. No, he can use people like us, who are just people that this world chooses to undervalue. And he can use people like us to work his perfect will. And it's no more difficult, no matter whether it's the green team or it's us. So let's align our lives with our God, with his will for us. Because of what he's done for us, let's live our lives and consistently choose him. Let's live our lives and let's value him and value our identity in him. Because of what he's done for us, because of the love that he's shown for us. Let's walk on the path that he sets out for us. Let's share that message of joy with others. And let's rejoice in the fact that our God has given us the ticket to heaven, eternal life with him, because of his mercy. We thank our God that he has made us wise for salvation.